Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Nort. A brand new DLC has been released to GTA 5, and whilst all of you guys are just going through the DLC and playing it, I've spent the past few days looking into Easter eggs, looking into mysteries, looking into secrets, and I just hit the table. That actually hurt. But what we're going to do today though, guys, is something which I'm really surprised about, because Rockstar Games didn't need to do this, but they did because they want to carry on this mystery, this Easter egg in GTA, and they've literally handed us the answer to Niko Bellic and what happened to him in GTA 5, and it's just amazing. I spent the entire morning working this out, and I've written down a lot of things. Like, you know, it gets serious when I've written down everything we're going to talk about in today's episode, because Rockstar Games added something with the latest DLC, the Doomsday DLC, which confirms exactly what happened to Niko Bellic, and it's so brief, it's so vague, that you really have to look into it and do all the calculations and the research and stuff to find out exactly what happens to him. But they literally give us the answer in this DLC, and it's crazy, guys. It's amazing. So before we get into this, I just want to ask you guys to smash that thumbs up button. That would of course be absolutely amazing. I've done so much research into this, and I really hope you guys enjoy this video, because I mean, I wasn't expecting to do this, because just when I thought this Easter egg was over, Rockstar Games just literally gave us the answer in this DLC, and it's crazy. It is crazy, guys, and it confirms everything we've spoken about in the past. So let's get straight into this. I'm in such a good mood because of this, because it's made me feel so happy. So let's just go over to the Yellow Jack Inn. Yes, guys, we're going to go over to the Yellow Jack Inn, and in fact, shall I go over there first? Yeah, let's go over there first, just to explain exactly how things start off. I'm not going to go through everything we went through in the previous videos, don't worry, guys, but I think it's only necessary we go over to the Yellow Jack Inn, and I think it's literally just right over there, actually. So we'll do some off-roading and just go straight over there, because for those of you guys who don't know, if you haven't seen any of my previous episodes, the Yellow Jack Inn was actually owned by Niko Bellic and Roman Bellic, as well as a few other friends of his. In fact, I think the current owner right now is Russian, who is also of a similar culture to Niko Bellic, who was Serbian. So I'm just going to park up outside here, and I'm going to roll this clip from the Doomsday DLC. So I'm not too sure which mission this is in, because I would say about 4 of you guys have sent me this clip. Like, not too many of you guys, and I've tried to ask each and every one of them exactly whereabouts in the DLC they got this, like what the mission name was. I'm not too sure if it's a finale. I think it could just be a setup or a prep mission or something like that, but they couldn't remember the name. Like, none of them could. And after trying to research this to see if anyone has spoken about this on forums or anything else like that, no one's spoken about this, so I don't actually know which part of the DLC this clip comes from. But if you guys can help me out, make sure you guys comment in the comments section below, because I'm sure most of you guys would like to know where this clip comes from. So if you guys know, let me know in the comments. But listen to this clip from the Doomsday DLC, and then I'll explain exactly what it means. So yeah, I will see you guys in just a few seconds, and enjoy.
Let's just pick up ULP and hear what he's got to say, huh? This is an old agent. You know, I heard about him running some poor bank robber in Liberty City like a decade ago. And what happened to him? Anyway, this old agent was looking into the data breaches, and poof, he disappears. I'd leave him disappeared, but the boss, Mrs. Rackman, won't pay us unless we get him.
Okay, so I know loads of you guys are probably thinking to yourself, okay, so what? It's just a Niko Bellic Easter egg, you know? It's cool, it's interesting, but it doesn't mean much. Now, I know most of you guys are thinking that, but some of you guys, you know, I know a few of you guys out there are smiling to yourself, thinking to yourself, wait, I think I know what's going to happen next. Because yes, Rockstar Games, they actually mentioned something crucial, like something extremely important in this one piece of dialogue, and you really have to look into it to understand what they said, because it's so vague, and you could miss this if you didn't know the entire mystery. If you didn't know the entire Niko Bellic Easter egg in GTA 5, you could miss exactly what's going on. And you really do need to know everything which happened in GTA 4 as well. Unfortunately, I do. This is insane. Like, what Rockstar Games told us is literally the holy grail of this Easter egg, and they've literally answered everything to us, confirming Niko Bellic has been taken out in GTA 5 by Trevor Phillips, the person who I did say just a few weeks ago. I think it was last week, actually. And this is the reason why I'm so happy, because Rockstar Games literally confirmed this to us in this DLC. Because if you guys take a look at the quote, it mentions that Mrs. Rackman was looking into Niko Bellic for over a decade, ever since he did a data breach in Liberty City. And Mrs. Rackman, if you guys haven't looked at her GTA wiki, she was just about introduced with the latest DLC, a brand new character, but she's also a supervisor or a highly ranked agent in the IAA, which is the building you guys can see in Los Santos. Santos. It's just a huge authority in GTA 5, and you guys, of course, will have definitely heard of them if you have played any sort of mission in GTA. Now, the interesting thing is that someone else we know who also works in the IAA is Niko Bellic's ex, known as Karen, and she is introduced in Three's a Company, I think, or Three's a Crowd or something. I think it's in one of those. Don't reference me on that mission, but she's introduced as an IAA officer in the campaign only a few times, you know, just vaguely. She doesn't have a massive role in campaign, but you do see her, and she is also a highly ranked officer in the IAA. Now, something interesting is over a decade ago, or almost a decade ago, 2008, it's 2017 now, so about a decade ago, she was looking into Niko Bellic as an undercover officer, and she was actually Niko Bellic's ex in order to do that. So when the IAA were investigating Niko Bellic, that is when Karen was pretending to be Niko Bellic's partner at the time, because she was an IAA officer undercover, and she was looking into Niko Bellic at the time, obviously for those data breaches and just all of the things Niko Bellic has done. If you guys have played GTA 4, you will definitely know this. Now, in GTA 5, all of us were surprised to see she works in the IAA, and this means that Mrs. Rackman and Karen have kind of lost Niko Bellic. He's gone off the radar. But the interesting thing is Mrs. Rackman, who obviously supervises over Karen, who really wants to get Niko Bellic, she lives in San Andreas, which means Niko Bellic must be in San Andreas at this time. But what gives everything away, like looking at this, let's just see. Yeah, literally, Mrs. Rackman is a senior agent in the IAA. You guys can see that on the GTA wiki. She looks over everything, she's with the high-ranked officers, and she watches over every single person, including Karen. But now we know Mrs. Rackman lives in San Andreas and has lived in San Andreas for her entire life. It obviously shows that Niko Bellic did at some point come to San Andreas, or else their investigation wouldn't keep coming. And this is how the wanted posters were actually set up around the map, because if we take a look around the map, let's just go over to Niko Bellic's house quickly, guys. I believe it's somewhere over there or something. I think it's... Is it there? I think it's right there or something like that. If you go over to Niko Bellic's house, you can actually see a wanted poster of Niko Bellic outside his house. And the thing is, the IAA are the only group who have ever confessed to ever wanting to catch Niko Bellic, which is why these posters have come out, because it obviously means the IAA wanted to get him. There's the house. There's the house. It's right there, guys. So this house right here was actually Niko Bellic's house. You can see it's old, it's run down, no one's looking after it anymore. It's even got mail in the box as well. And the reason why we know it's definitely his house is because not only is there a dartboard there from the Yellow Jack Inn, I will show you guys very, very soon how this makes a reference, but there's also over here on the table a poster of Niko Bellic who's wanted, and I believe this might be the only poster where we know Niko Bellic is wanted. And now we know the IAA were the ones who wanted him. They must have been the people who put out these posters around the map to try and find him, because pretty much for over a decade almost they haven't been able to locate him anywhere. Now, if you guys have seen any of my previous videos, and when I say any, I mean any of my Niko Bellic videos, you will know that Niko Bellic is no more. He's been taken out 100% in GTA 5, and I will show you guys once again how I definitely know this. But what we have just been told by Rockstar Games is that Niko Bellic was definitely taken out by Trevor Phillips, and the reason why I know this is because if Niko Bellic wasn't taken out by Trevor Phillips and instead was taken out by the authorities who wanted him, then why is the IAA still after him? And that's what the quote is trying to say. And we know this because if you guys listened to the GTA 5 story, there's 3 quotes I know of right now from the top of my head. Three quotes. All of these are coming from characters who don't belong in the authorities. One from Lester, who says this:
"Oh, we're gonna need a crew. I can round up some of the old guys."
There are no old guys. Moses, ironically, he found Jesus. All those Irish crazies, they mostly just disappeared. There was an Eastern European guy making moves in Liberty City, but he went quiet.
There's another one from Niko Bellic's friends who say this:
"I ran the crew. It was me, my brother Derek, God rest his soul, my pal Michael, God rest his soul, and another boy, Nico, who's probably dead too."
And Lester also says this in the Doomsday heist.
Let's just pick up ULP and hear what he's got to say, huh? This is an old agent. You know, I heard about him running some poor bank robber in Liberty City like a decade ago. And what happened to him? Anyway, this old agent was looking into the data breaches and poof, he disappears. I'd leave him disappeared, but the boss, Mrs. Rackman, won't pay us unless we get him.
meaning that Lester and all of Niko Bellic's friends know that Niko Bellic is no more. He's been taken out 100%, but the authorities don't know that, which means the authorities obviously didn't get Niko Bellic, which means someone else did. And let's go over to the final part of this video, and I'm so pumped with this. Like, Rockstar Games, GG, I have been paying attention to this. Thank you so much for this Easter egg. It is crazy. It makes so much sense. Like, everything we've been talking about up until today, it makes so much sense, guys. So let's go back over to the Yellow Jack Inn where Niko Bellic was taken out. If you guys have seen any of my previous videos, you will know that. But let's go back over to the Yellow Jack Inn and just confirm to you guys once again everything I have been talking about in the past. But oh my days, Rockstar, GG, guys. I mean, if you're watching this video, this mystery, this Easter egg, it's crazy. And I'm so glad you added this in with the Doomsday DLC. I mean, it proves to us once again that Rockstar Games can hold information about Easter eggs, about mysteries in the game until future dates. Like, you never know, in the next 10 months or the next year or something, Rockstar Games might add in another clue to this mystery or something. But they literally gave us everything we needed to know in that one clip, because the IAA don't know Niko Bellic has been taken out, which is why they're still looking for him, which means they couldn't have taken him out. And even so, no authority in GTA could have taken him out, because if any authority did, then they would have it on the record that Niko Bellic was no more and he's been taken out in GTA 5. So we're not just looking at the IAA, we're looking at the FIB, we're looking at the sheriffs, we're looking at every single person. There would be a record of him being taken out, which is why we know that the authorities didn't take out Niko Bellic, and which is why I know 120% again, guys, that Trevor Phillips was the person who took out Niko Bellic. And I said this in the previous episode before we knew this information, and I'm so glad Rockstar Games have confirmed this once again. So like I said, guys, we know that was definitely Niko Bellic's house because there's a dartboard from there which belongs to the Yellow Jack Inn. And if you guys have seen any of my previous videos, you will know that Roman Bellic did say in GTA 4 to Niko that he had a dream of owning his own tavern, somewhere peaceful, somewhere quiet, and they would have their own community.
Last night I had a dream.
Really?
Yes. You and I had a place of our own. A place where people come to eat and relax. Classy place. We own a real restaurant. Tavern is a place of distinction, you know?
And this is the tavern they're talking about, because Niko went quiet, he set up a tavern in San Andreas, and inside the tavern, you guys can see this 100%. If you guys go inside the tavern, you can not only see Niko Bellic's jacket on the hook, which proves to us that he went inside the tavern and never left, but you can also see that the owners never actually declare their status that they own this tavern, which means someone else owns this tavern who we don't know and we've never met yet in GTA, which has to be Niko Bellic. And the current owner, who we can only assume owns this tavern, is of the same culture or a similar culture to Niko Bellic, because the owner right now, he's actually Russian, Niko Bellic is Serbian. I've googled it, they have similar cultures, although it's a slightly different language, they do have similar cultures, so it would make sense for him to be part of Niko Bellic's group in order to trust him enough to run the tavern with him, because they did mention they want their own sort of community running it, and they want it to be peaceful and fun. Let's just take a look around this tavern, and once again, I'm going to confirm to you that Niko Bellic has definitely been taken out by Trevor, because if you guys go around the sides, and if you guys go behind the bar, you can see someone 110% was taken out who was running this bar at the time. Because let's say Niko Bellic was running the bar a few years ago or something. I'm not too sure when he was taken out, but definitely before the storyline, because of course we don't see him at all in GTA. But let's say he was just standing here behind the bar or something, and someone storms in and starts going at Niko Bellic, like going crazy on Niko Bellic. He obviously turned around, put his hand on the side, and you can see a hand stain right there, and then he tries to get something which he can use against the person storming into the bar. So he runs around the side, puts his hand down there trying to grab one of these things, another hand over there as well trying to suspend his body to make sure he doesn't fall on the floor. But of course he doesn't manage to get any of these things, and even if he does, he ends up falling down over here, which of course lands his hand right here as well. And I think there's another hand stain or something over there as well, just behind this bar, which means whoever was taken out inside this bar was behind the bar at the time. Like, this is when it all started, and everything gets heavier and heavier as you continue. Like, look how heavy this stain is right here compared to this stain right here. Like, this stain is so faint and this one is so heavy, which means that it all started over here and he slowly made his way outside this bar. And if you guys keep going, let's say the person was standing at the entrance going at Niko Bellic. He can't go towards him because he's blocking the entrance, so he runs to the nearest door, which is over there. And as you guys can see, all of these footprints lead us to it. You can see footprints going right towards this door, and of course the door is locked, so he turns around, goes around here, and this is where where he's taken out, trying to go back over to the entrance, which is of course blocked. Now the interesting thing is when you get over here, you can see a dartboard, which is also outside that house, which we all suspect is Niko Bellic's house. So this could be a small reference to Rockstar Games telling us, hey, Niko Bellic did live here in San Andreas. But something we know 110% is Niko Bellic was taken out inside this bar, and we also know 110% that Niko Bellic was not taken out by the authorities who wanted him. In fact, he was taken out by Trevor Phillips, because if you guys listen to this quote from story mode, you can hear us say, Trevor, if any more bodies turn up at my bar, I will not serve you. Listen to this, guys.
Now get me a drink. I got a meeting.
Okay, but any more bodies turn up in my bar, I will not serve you.
Mr. Phillips.
Ah, here he is.
Which means Trevor has done quite a bit of stuff in this bar. And something else even more interesting is Rockstar Games have developed an art screen, which also shows Trevor with his knuckles like this outside this bar, which means he definitely has done something inside this bar to upset the owner or the person who does run this bar in GTA. Like, it's not just like a random person. He's obviously done something to upset the person who we know right now runs the bar in GTA. So it's an extremely interesting Easter egg. It's a huge Easter egg as well. And once again, to confirm that this bar was definitely owned by Niko Bellic, you can see a photo of him inside a car from GTA Liberty City right here, guys. And it doesn't make sense whatsoever to have a photo of someone else in a bar unless they own it or have some sort of affiliation to this bar in GTA. And there's also awards over here, for example. You can see Best of Show 2008. That is the same time Liberty City was based. So at the end of the story, they obviously moved here and went off the radar from the IAA. And for some reason, I'm not too sure why, Trevor Phillips went crazy on Niko Bellic, and he's known to do stuff like this. Like when he was introduced, he literally took out Johnny Klabitz, no problem, a-okay. So I mean, he's known to do crazy stuff like this, but the biggest clue here is that Niko Bellic put his coat on the hook and never took it off. So he definitely walked inside here and never came out. So that's basically everything in this Easter egg, and Rockstar Games have just answered this for us with this huge reference to everything in GTA. And the most important thing to know is that the IAA don't know Niko Bellic has been taken out, but every single person who knew him or watched him knows Niko Bellic has been taken out, which means the authorities 120%, 220% never took out Niko Bellic, because if they did, there would have been a record of them doing that, which would have closed their case. And I'm amazed Rockstar Games added this into the game. Like, they didn't need to add this to the game, but they did, and it's amazing. If you guys want to let me know your thoughts on this, let me know in the comments section below. But either way, guys, if you did enjoy today's episode, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. That would of course be absolutely amazing, and I recommend you guys also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on awesome stuff like this on a daily basis. And let me know in the comments section below anything else you would like to see me do on my channel, and never know, guys, your idea might make it into another video. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, let me know in the comments section below your thoughts about this Easter egg, about this mystery, if you guys agree, if you guys don't. If you guys don't agree, let me know why, because honestly, I can't think of a single clue, a single reason why this mystery isn't real, because everything adds up in this mystery. Every single bit, every single clue, it all adds up like perfectly, and Rockstar Games have given us this information as well. It's not like created out of thin air. It's in the game, and if you guys have paid attention to GTA 4 and GTA 5, you would know this as well. So either way, guys, I'm blown away by this. So make sure you guys do comment in the comments section below what you think about this. But guys, until next time, thank you so much for watching. My name is Nort, and stay absolutely awesome. I'll see you guys in the next video.